Hi everybody, I'm Darren Moore and you're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.
Finish the lyric. Leon Bailey Bala. Or as the artist would say, Leon Bailey Bala. Leon Bailey Bala. I'm sure everyone remembers that, don't they? A lot of people would, for obvious reasons, because it's Leon Bailey himself. So, without further ado, here we go, shall we? So, as I'm sure you guys are aware, there was a big result today. A massive, massive result today within the English Premier League today. And that was Leon Bailey's Aston Villa as they took on Manchester United. And we know what the result was? Well, in case those that didn't get the opportunity to see or watch the game, yeah, the match ended 3-1. Roger Grant says, primero aquí, hola mi amigo, ¿qué tal? ¿Estás bien? Tengo sueño, pero tengo hambre ahora. ¿Conoces? ¿Me entiendes? Pero quiero agua ahora. Quiero beber agua ahora. Jay Green says he scores against your team, Simon. Yes, he did. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm disappointed that Manchester United lost. Honestly. Straightforward, I'm being honest with you. I'm very disappointed. Very, very, very disappointed. Bonjour ami, comment ça va? Tu bon? Oui, je suis très bien, merci. Et vous? Ça va très bien, merci. Mais je suis très fatigué maintenant. J'ai beaucoup de choses et beaucoup de faire des choses. Et aussi, je vais parler avec ma mère et mon frère aussi. C'est beaucoup. C'est beaucoup. As Ab says, up Simon, up. Hope you are doing good. Hope you're doing good. So as you guys can see on your screen, this is in a way that how Aston Villa lined up today. But what I'm going to show for you guys exactly, Jason Guna says, United dead. Man dead with love. KG says, wow, nice French. Oui, je parle français, anglais, l'espagnol, et aussi je parle portugais et hindi aussi. Roger Grant says, Simon, from your point of view, what are the top 5 most spoken languages in the world? Well, Mandarin is number one, followed by Spanish, English. After that, you would have French. And then after that, it would have to be Hindi, wouldn't it? India has to be in there because, that's 1 billion people. So what I want to show you guys specifically is how I want to show you guys Leon Bailey and how things have been working so far. The Aston Villa lineup in their traditional 4-2-3-1 in a sense, yeah? Yeah, because you have, of course, Dendonka and Louise as the coach Unai Emery likes having two ball-playing central midfielders. So it's no surprise that he has gone with that sort of approach, right? And in front of them, the likes of Jacob Ramsey, Buendia, Leon Bailey, Danny Ings up top as well. So now on paper, it might look that you see Leon Bailey in this particular position, right? However, if you observe the way that how he played, he took up a lot of areas on the pitch quite centrally. Ikarik says United played nothing today. Ikarik says up the Villa. Come on, you're not even an Aston Villa fan, so why would he even say something like that? That is just rude and out of order. Rude. So here we go. So you'll see on your screen there, Leon Bailey. He might have started here, but guess what? He ended up here for the first half, right? And in many instances, this happened. And he looked threatening when he occupied a central position. It allowed the centre forward to press up, and this gave Leon Bailey space to work with on this side. And as you saw with the goal, he was able to shoot in this direction. And centrally, I would say he gave Victor Lindelof a lot of problems to worry about. It really, really, really gave something for the Aston Villa team to work with. And new coach, new manager, however you want to look at it, is a manager. And just like that, Aston Villa has risen to 13th in the league. 13th in the league, 15 points. And guess what? They're just 6 points behind qualifying for European football. 8 points behind Manchester United and 6 points behind Brighton, who are 6th position within the league. Chelsea 7th on 21 points. Liverpool, they're 8th on 19 points. Fulham 9th, 19 points. Crystal Palace, 10th position, 19 points. Brentford, 11th position on 16 points. Leeds United, 12th position, 15 points as well. Aston Villa, 15 points after 14 games played. And of course, Aston Villa will be turning their attention towards their League Cup tie against Manchester United on Thursday. And of course, that game is going to be at Old Trafford. After that game, Leon Bailey and Aston Villa will face Brighton. And that game will be on the English South Coast. And that will be the last game prior to the 2022 FIFA World Cup. When they come back on Boxing Day, Leon Bailey and Aston Villa, they'll face Liverpool at home at Boxing Day, lunchtime kickoff. On a New Year's Day, they're away to Tottenham. So big tests for them in the festive period. Massive tests for them moving forward. Ikarik says, up the Villa, because I am not a United fan. So which team do you support then? Which team do you support? BM says, man, I live like Bala, Leon, Bailey. Some boy them meds through every day, me touch road and me them. Go on through BM, go on through. True Simon Bailey look dangerous playing in the middle, says Akina Williams. Timor Peterkin says, up my G, up Timor. Hope you guys are doing well. And let me tell you guys something, guys, briefly. I am grateful for all of your support. Trust me, every single one of you subscribers, followers, viewers, I am absolutely grateful to every single one of you. You guys made the show what it is today. You guys, I see your guys' messages on Instagram. I see everything that you guys have to say. I read your comments, and trust me, I just want to let you guys know that I'm grateful, tremendously grateful. So I'm using this moment in time to let you know how much you mean to me, and you guys are absolutely amazing. Amazing. All right. So thank you very much for your support. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and so much more content to come. Going on the road this week. Are you coming on the road with us? So yeah, as I said, guys, that's something that I wanted to let you guys be aware about. It was a good day today, sound to the great. And guys, before I bring back up the graphic, let me tell you guys something. Leon Bailey, Tiffany Cameron, Khadija Bonnie Shaw, Denisha Blackwood, Jamaicans on target. Jamaicans on target, you know what I mean? So, like I said, in this sort of position, Leon Bailey threatened significantly for Aston Villa. Centrally, he looked very, very good. And did you guys hear what the manager, Unai Emery, had to say about Leon Bailey? He said he was, yes, world class. Big statement right there, isn't it? Now, let's think about how Leon Bailey could work for Jamaica. Could Leon Bailey be a central midfielder for Jamaica? Central attacking midfielder, that is. So in net, all right, we have with us Andre Blake. Left back, we have Greg Lee. Right back, let's say for the time being, it is Javane Brown. Centre halves, the likes of Damien Lowe and Ethan Pinnock. And then for me, this is what I would do. Why not this? So you have that one number 6. Let's say that this is Marvin Johnson. So you have Ravel Morrison. And let's say you have EJ. Leon Bailey here. You have Boza here. And you have Antonio here. Now, you can't tell me that Leon Bailey in a central area cannot do wonders, because the sheer ability of a player of his caliber can pull players out of position, can frustrate the opposition, can make life easier for his teammates, because the blistering pace that this man is running with in Leon Bailey, you're doing absolutely wonders right there. You know why? Because of his movement, his precision, and the way that he moves. You're pulling the opposition out with this movement right here. And that allows the likes of Boza, the likes of Antonio to get free, get settled. So when Leon plays a penetrative pass, or if Boza and Antonio are pressed and marked, Leon Bailey has the space right here. Boom. Right there. How does that sound? Because that's exactly what could happen quite soon. You guys know what I mean? So this is something that we can really look forward to. Let's see what you guys are saying as well. Any news on Boza? So it's no secret that there's interest in Shamar Boza Nicholson across the Atlantic. And honestly, what I can say is that he wants to prove himself at Spartak. I personally don't see a move in January. However, I wouldn't rule it out. I just think at the end of the season, a decision will be made. But for now, it's about ensuring that he develops, grows, enhances his ability, and presses forward from there. He played centrally early in the season, and we were complaining. Personally, I don't think that run that he had centrally was a sustained one, as in 5 minutes or 10 minutes centrally for me is not sustained. Personally, for Gerard, I just don't think tactically that he got it extremely right. There were some elements that we need to do. Ryan said he said it, but I didn't hear him say that in the clip he posted. It must have been a different interview. Now, we're paraphrasing, but he was extremely, extremely, extremely happy with the performance that he gave. Should we rename Leon the Manchester Killer? Ha 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 ha. Because he scored against Man City and scored against United. It's funny because he's a Manchester United fan. Leon Bailey is a Manchester United fan. Did he celebrate after he scored against United today? Did he celebrate? I'm trying to remember if he celebrated because I just do remember that element to it. But he's a Manchester United fan. Nobody can't say anything else, you know? He scored the goal from more a central position, but the heat map from today suggests he spent most of the time to the right-hand channel. Yeah, he scored the goal centrally, and the heat map might have suggested that he spent the bulk of his time on the right. But when he was in possession, when he was threatening, it came centrally. I can occupy a right back, I can occupy the right-hand side, but it doesn't mean that I was the most effective on the right. Bailey and Villa showed United levels. Stop it. When Unai Emery talk, he sound more like he's French and not Spanish. Well, the thing is, he's not very good at English, so when you hear him speak Spanish, though, you'll hear it. He will go and speak like, tómame la mano que tú eres cosa buena, esta noche que le bailo sobre la arena, no soy una y no soy una, tómame la mano que tú eres cosa buena, no solo pienso en ti en ocasiones, cuando estoy borracho y negro. So that's how fast he speaks when he actually speaks in Spanish, you know what I mean? Leon's best game this Man United, Man City and Chelsea. Clowns will still try to convince you he's not built for the Prem. There's nobody in their right mind would say that Leon Bailey is not ready for the Premier League. Whoever would say that is talking absolute nonsense. Nobody in their right mind would say that he's not ready for the Premier League. I felt that under Gerrard, he was not getting the best out of Leon Bailey. And he's now under a manager. It's one game, yes. But I do think that under this manager, there will be some growth, there will be some guidance, and there will be some progress. So I'm looking forward to it. Boza is starting every game now. Yep, that's progress in itself because we know at the start of the season that is not something that happened, you know? So that's something that we should be thrilled about. He didn't play well versus City. He scored, but he didn't play well. He just scored. United and Brentford, he was a beast. Indeed, my friend. Indeed. True, Simon, just imagine if Bailey played more of a central role. Simon Bailey have good passing skill and he's very fast. The commentator said Bailey played his best game for Villa today. And I think it's very hard to disagree against that. You know, many people might be hard and fast and say that if you look at the minutes he spent on the field against Everton last season, it might have been more effective because of the goal and the assist. But look, you can't get away from what he did today. So I would have to agree and say that today was his best performance for Aston Villa and his best performance on UK soil. Rob Smith says, number one guy, he did play very well versus City. Stop it. I think against City, he played all right. It was all right. Not a 10 out of 10 performance, but it was all right. Not only celebrated, he danced. Oh my God. So you know what that means? United are never going to sign Leon Bailey. But on a more serious note, guys, there's no Jamaican player on United's radar at this point in time, unless we want to talk about Ivan Toney. But let's talk about Ivan Toney in another video, because that matter is another matter that could really, really make things interesting, you know? Coffee says, in Bossa One dance. Yeah. He had a one good moment, bro, says Rob Smith. James Nguyen says, guys, why do we insist on making things up? Paraphrasing. The man never said nothing about anybody being world class. He said the players have been underperforming, that it was all about the players. Richard Crawford says, you mean Whisper? Richard Crawford. What about Whisper? Big up, Richie. Hope you're doing good, man. But what about Whisper? What is the points that you're making about Dejan Whisper Richards? Tell me what you think about that. Yes, he celebrated his goal. Remember his dance. He did that dance. He celebrated today for sure with a little dance. Okay. Thank you, Jason. All right, so I'm still fuming for you guys that you're not in Qatar competing. Yeah, you know, if I'm being completely frank with you, there's a number of factors why Jamaica is not going to the World Cup. One of them being we didn't have a 12th man at all. Out of our 7 games at the National Stadium before Jamaica were mathematically eliminated, only 1 game had spectators, and it was limited spectatorship to only 5,000. You know, and the last 2 games of the qualifiers, basically, it was a scenario where it was all about academic interest. So not having the 12th man was a big deal. Giving players debuts in a World Cup qualifier was a big deal. You can't throw 7 men on the field. That was a recipe for disaster in itself. Decision makings during the campaign, perhaps taking off Anthony Grant in the 89th minute against Mexico, not a wise decision there. Playing Ravel Morrison as a number 6, you don't even do that at Sunday school level, at Sunday league level. So a number of reasons why it didn't materialize. But 2026 is a big chance, and 2026 is one of the reasons, one of the tournaments that Jamaica should not miss out on at all, because USA, Canada, Mexico are all automatically qualified. So it's basically Central America versus Caribbean for 3 automatic spots and 2 intercontinental spots. So basically in intercontinental qualifiers, you're going to have 6 teams, and those 6 teams are going to fight for 2 spots. So for me, listen, Jamaica has to claim one of the automatic spots. If Jamaica doesn't claim one of the automatic spots, then but Jamaica has to. Leon Bailey's problem is consistency. He's definitely not short on ability and talent. And BM, I would have to agree with you 100% there. Ability and talent is by no means an issue for Leon Bailey. That is not a conversation that we'll ever have about Leon Bailey, in my opinion, as it relates to his ability, his talent. That's something that I know for sure he has in abundance. So can this be the season where he gets 10 league goals? I think a player of his caliber is capable of having 15 goal contributions a season. 10 goals, 5 assists, 8 goals, 7 assists. I do think 15 goal contributions is something that he's worthy of. Scored against United in preseason as well. Yeah, that's right. I remember that one. Smash the like button, people. Come on, guys. Let's go. Smash that like button. 27 years since Villa beat Man U. No, Villa beat United in wow. I'm sure Villa has beaten United in recent times. But wow. That is something. That is quite something. You reckon Antonio will hold out until 2026? Personally, I think the Gold Cup might be Antonio's last appearance for Jamaica. Now, for me, I always believe that it's ability over age for me. Always been ability over age. So if Antonio is still kicking it in the Premier League at 34, 35 and contributing at that age, then we can have that conversation. But I like to take things a step at a time. And for me, I think with Antonio's situation, I would say that Antonio plays for Jamaica at the Gold Cup, helps us win it. And if Jamaica wins the Gold Cup, I don't mind that saying, Antonio, thank you for your services the last 2 years for the country. We appreciate it. And you have a medal around your neck, a gold medal around your neck. You know, an alkaline song. Me say one bag of gold medal upon me, champion boy, the damn thing go. Me say one bag of gold medal upon me, champion boy, the damn thing go. Me say one bag of gold medal upon me, That's the song that we're gonna play. That's the song we're gonna play when Jamaica wins the Gold Cup. Yeah? When Jamaica wins the Gold Cup, that's the song we're gonna play. We say one bag of gold medal upon me, champion boy, the damn thing go. Yeah, that's the song we're gonna play. The baller under Unai Emery by season end will be valued nearly 100 million. Whisper over Boza, great, etc. Ja Rastafari. Okay. You believe it's time for Whisper's opportunity in the team, in the national team. Okay. Cool, Breeze. I understand. Fair enough. I think we'll qualify along with Panama, Costa Rica, and the Central American team with either Haiti. Remember, okay. To the playoff, I think it's going to be Panama, Costa Rica, Jamaica as the top 3. And after that, I believe that you're going to have Curacao and Haiti go to the playoffs. And I think Curacao might edge it, might edge one of those 2 spots. Something like 9 goals, 7 assists or better would be a good season for him. That's 16 goal contributions, and I would say that is a reasonably good season for sure. I think for this season, I think he has to get more than 10 this season, 10 goal contributions this season. Has to, in my opinion. That should be the bare minimum for a player of his caliber. Honestly. Did you really write in Greg Lee over Maribel seriously? Yes, I did. Yeah. Wells says, Whisper ready right now. I'm ready too. I'm ready too. What's the deal with Andre Blake? I'm going to be premiering a video later today regarding Andre Blake. And you guys will get the full gist of Andre Blake. So stay tuned for that because you guys are going to enjoy it. Remember Curacao, El Salvador, Honduras. Yeah. Can we stop hype up Whisper until he gets a contract in Europe? The last time we hype up schoolboy who couldn't compete against his age group in CONCACAF. You know, Alex Marshall for me got a lot of rave. Lot and lot of rave. And for me, playing in the Canadian Premier League, that's an underachievement. He should be in Europe. I understand his size and everything, but he should be minimum be in Eastern Europe. Yeah. When I stop talking about Whisper. When I stop party. When I stop party. When I stop party to 140. Well, 40 supermarket and a 40 store. 40 more. When I stop party till we're 140. What do you guys say about that? When I stop party till we're 140. Oh, by the way, Javon Watson is 40 next year, you know. You guys know that? The great Haka is 40 next year. Interesting, don't it? Yeah. Just like that. Simon, how did you rate Haka as an artist? Or how do I rate Haka as an artist? Honestly, I only probably know only 2 of his songs, so I don't think it would be fair for me to give him a rating as an artist. But what I can tell you from what I've heard, it's a vibe. It's a decent vibe. That is what I will say. And I think I thought you were going to ask me about his playing exploits, but I've always held the view as a player that I know what he brings to the dressing room. I've traveled with the team. I know exactly why he gets the respect that he deserves. I've never said that he needs to start for Jamaica week in, week out. But I remain completely steadfast that, I think moving forward, he could be a player welfare manager. He could be a representative of players. Like if there's a players union, I think Haka, Damian Lowe, Mariapa could play a significant role in that aspect, So I wouldn't brush away Javon Watson from a footballing perspective. Still think he has a role to play off the pitch. So that's genuinely how I feel about the matter. Bring back Haka. We need vibes in the squad. Do you want to see him on the pitch or off the pitch? You reckon Mitchell from Palace heads to Qatar? With England with the left back situation. Left back. Kieran Trippier, Luke Shaw. Chilwell, I guess, is not going. So that means you need one more left back. Danny Rose. Yeah. So Luke Shaw. Pat Mitchell has a chance to go. Yeah. Haka still has 100 years of partying left. Exactly, Everton. Everton S. Jackson, you are right. Peter Lee, Vassell, Alex Marshall, Tyre McGee, these guys are supposed to be great midfielders. I think Tyre McGee still has the tremendous potential to be one. Still has time on his hands. I think Tyre McGee, he is in Europe, So I'm sure there's something he has to be learning over the last few years. He's not just sitting down twiddling his thumbs. The contract that he has ends in the summer, and I fully expect him to be, if not in Scandinavia, then somewhere in Eastern Europe. That's how I feel about the matter. So that's what I think is vitally important from a Jamaican standpoint. Roger Grant says, Simon, I hate the mindset of some of the Jamaican football supporters. Instead of pushing the players to get contracts to earn better wages, they're saying they're ready for senior team. Now, what I'll say to that specifically is it depends the player that you're referring to. For some players, yeah. Are you referring to players in the JPL specifically? USL? It really depends on which players you're referring to. Simon, there is too much emphasis on schoolboy football. As a country, Jamaica needs to evolve and adapt to compete with the best in CONCACAF and the world. Okay, so let me reiterate what I've said in the past. Now, I believe that schoolboy football is one of the major reasons why football in this country has not moved forward. We're moving backwards. We're teaching 5 and 6 and 7 and 8-year-old boys and girls for that matter that success is winning trophies and medals when you're 6 and 7 and 8 years old. We have coaches that are fired for not winning trophies at a prep school, primary, or high school level. We have players that feel that they've made it after they've scored 2 goals in the Manning Cup final, get their limelight in the press, get 2 girls with them, and they've made it. But guess what, guys? Someone has just made his debut for Arsenal Football Club at 15 years old. And countless amount of players may have made their Premier League debut at 16. So it shows you we still have far, far, far away. And I'll repeat the point. Our best players, our best teenage football players in this country should not be playing schoolboy football. They should be playing Premier League football. That is exactly where they should be. They shouldn't be playing schoolboy football. For me, if you're one of the best schoolboy football players in this country, you shouldn't be playing schoolboy football. You know what you should be playing? Premier League football. You should be rubbing shoulders with the likes of Ricardo Thomas. You should be rubbing shoulders with the likes of Colorado Murray. You should be rubbing shoulders with the likes of Shaven Sean Paul and company. You should be playing Premier League football, big man football, because that is exactly where you're going to grow and develop. So that is exactly where you need to be and nowhere else at that tender stage of your life. So that is what I'll say where that is concerned. How's Andre doing in Greece? You know, he's adjusting quite well. He's adjusting in terms of the culture and language and everything. Scoring goals, scored in European competition, and also doing his thing within the league. And the change of pace for him, he's admitted, has been good. You know, so I'm grateful for the opportunity that he got to be able to go over in that part of the world. And it's great. He's a winger, says Amari Campbell. Who is that specifically? I'm not sure why the club promised McGee game time this season, then went back on their word. He needs to leave ASAP. Well, my friend, as I've learned in life, actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. So that will be a learning lesson for Tyreek McGee and others as well. Roger Grant says, Simon, Brazil and Argentina have the best league in South America, and players from their league can't make the senior team until they move to Europe. Yeah, you have a few players, just a handful of players that play domestically that made the league. Not a lot, but a few, like the third string or second string goalkeeper is one, and also the top centre forward from that league as well. So very, very few players from the local league gets the opportunity to play within the national team as well. But I do get the point that you're trying to make. And I'm not saying that Jamaica needs to follow the exact model of a Brazil or an Argentina. But the point is there for us to be made that you need that European exposure. You really, really have to. Culture and mindset. Yeah, well said. Well said, well said, well said. Is there any more players like Joel Campbell who are like Costa Rican or Panamanian that are eligible for Jamaica? There are loads, my friend. There are loads. Loads and loads and loads and loads. Yeah, we got Panama. He goes by name Newton Williams. Listen, there are loads of players that were born in Limon in Costa Rica or Panama City in Panama. Stevens, Roberta Chen. So many players that were born to Jamaican grandparents. So many. So many, so many, so many. Countless. It's actually unbelievable. You guys will see in time. Do I think any of those will represent Jamaica though? Maybe one or two. But I don't expect us to scour the Central American markets for talent. But what I'll say is big up to Javan East. Big up to Javan East for winning the Costa Rican top flight. Jamaican winning a European competition. That's great news. Wayne Rooney scored his first Premier League goal at 16. When was the last time a 16-year-old scored or had a good game in the JPL? That's a good question. Dwayne Busy Atkinson had a good game as a teenager. So did a few others. You know? But not many. Not many. I remember Alvis Paula Portmore at 17, 18. You know? So that's what I'll say there. Some players like 2 to 3 get called up for Brazil and Argentina. Already says, bless up, Simon. Bless up. Hope you're doing good. But the rest are from Euro clubs. Yeah. Who is Marvin Johnson, Simon? Marvin Johnson is a central midfielder who plies his trade for Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday ply their trade in League One. If you haven't already, check out the interview that I did with Marvin Johnson quite recently. I did an interview with Marvin Johnson, Jaden Brown, Ricardo Bibigardner, Ricardo Fuller, Anthony Stewart, Alika Keane, and many others. Yeah, Kieran Agard. So I implore you to check out those videos. Check out those videos, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. Simon, I just found out that Kemaruf is related to the English Jamaica singer Georgia Smith. Yeah, I think it's his cousin, you know. I believe it's his cousin. And she was also born in the Midlands as well, just like Kemaruf. People in the Midlands like Darren Moore, like Andre Gray, like Kemaruf. They talk with that Midlands accent. So they talk like Jack Grealish. So they talk like, I'm from Aston Villa, like, so where they talk from the Midlands, that's the way they talk like. So that's the way that we're going around the corners, up and all that. So yeah, Georgia Smith, she's from Walsall as well. So yeah, that's his cousin. But yeah, they're related. She's R&B and pop. And she's in her mid-20s thereabouts. Can't believe she's younger than me. 4 goals in 11 games for Andre Gray this season in Greece. That is correct. Garth Watson says, Liam Bailey played up front for Villa against United and played very well. He would sometimes drift wide, and it means that Shaw or Martinez dragged out of position. Darth Watson, that is correct. That is correct. And that is something that I was speaking about earlier in this video. If it's something that should be employed for Jamaica, and I would be open to that idea, bearing in mind what CONCACAF is like, and with the pace, the raw pace that Leon Bailey possesses, that is something that could work from a Jamaican standpoint on the counter, or even pressing. When you're pressing teams with possession, it's something that I could see actually work. Because you have the front two with the two forwards, and they will be looking for pockets of space to work with. But if they're marked, that allows Leon Bailey a bit more space to work with. So that's what I'll say. Dre, any other sports? Simon, checking in. Just watch how you versus out another JPL team. Big up, Dre. How you doing, man? Hope you're doing good. Much respect, enough love. Hope you guys are good. For those of you tuning in as well, any questions that you have, you can use the super chat feature to make your question or comments highlighted as well. And in addition to that as well, you also have super chat and super thanks as well. So other ways to get your questions, comments highlighted as well, to get a bit more detail with things. So yeah. I need a victory this week. Yeah. Jamaica knew the Panama back in the 80s or 90s, even before that. That's why they end up having the music genre reggaeton right now, even though the market is dominated by Puerto Ricans. Yeah, Daddy Yankee and company. ¿Qué tengo que hacer para que vuelvas conmigo? Vamos a dejar el pasado atrás. Personally, ISABs, I think Reese would have a better chance with Jamaica. That's honestly how I feel about the matter. But that's how I feel. Jamaica. So he's 22. Going to be 23 quite soon. Scored a couple of goals so far this season. I'm grateful that he got the loan spells over in Germany and Holland, Hoffenheim and Feyenoord. Grateful that he got those opportunities. I believe we should recruit all our midfielders from England. We play too slow in the local league to develop midfielders. I can understand that reasoning, Ricardo Robinson. Absolutely. I watched the Anthony Stewart interview and watched his highlights. He is good and scores goals too as a central defender. Trust me, he is another Naira Nosworthy, and Naira Nosworthy, I can honestly say, was Jamaica's best centre half in the last 10 years. Honestly. Guys, you all know how much I rate Adrian Mariappa, but for me, Naira Nosworthy was Jamaica's best central defender. 2012 to 2014, that was our best central defender. Naira is just a G. 4-2-3-1 is our best system, but we need a very good CDM. But you see, that's the thing. I don't think we need to play two deep midfielders. We don't need two number sixes, Nitro. Having two number sixes, two holding midfielders, you're taking away some aspect of the creativity from the attacking standpoint. And a second area is that you're inviting more pressure for the opposition to put onto you. So that is not something that I personally would like to do. I prefer one holding midfielder, and you'd use that extra midfielder a bit higher up on the park. Nice Jack Grealish accent. As a footballer, he's very overrated, though. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's a very good football player. When he goes to the World Cup with England, I think he's going to score a couple of goals. I think that when England go far in the tournament, I'm going to show you exactly how far I think England are going to go in the World Cup. Whisper is a world-class player that's developed by the inimitable Craig Butler, who will not let any of his players play JPL unless he is their coach. Makes sense on a love too much ready down. Yeah. Well, he needs to go to Europe then. I'm a Man United fan who lives in Birmingham and went to Aston Villa versus Man United match. I was with the home fans and it was hell. Villa played very, very well. Unai Emery's tactics were good. That was Darth Watson. Yeah, I would have to say that thank you very much for tuning in. And if this is your first time for the show, really, really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as well for more content. I'm also a Manchester United fan as well. And you'd also see that I did videos that relates to Manchester United players who could be on the call up for Jamaica internationally. Now, they were very good today, new manager. And I think that when you have that team, and I think Unai Emery will do well, bearing in mind you have that break that they'll have. Of course, everybody's going to have that break for the World Cup, but Unai Emery has the ability to sear, because coaches, they have like 3 days and then a game, or 4 days and then a game, because they're good. They play games more than they train when the season actually starts. But now he has basically 4 to 6 weeks to let the team know what is his vision, his tactics, and everything, so that by the time December comes around, it will be a grand opportunity for Villa to settle into that system that he wants. It must have been awkward for Joel Campbell and his family when he scored against Jamaica. Is he connected to his roots? His grandfather is Jamaican. Is he connected in the sense of, does he know about his Jamaican heritage? Yeah. Can he speak some patois? Yeah, he can. So he's connected in that way. But it's not like he visits the island every summer for vacation or anything like that. Zimbabwe is a cricket nation. If Reese wants to play a tournament every 2 years and a World Cup, he gets a chance with Jamaica. Zimbabwe is banned by FIFA alongside with Kenya. Zimbabwe plays rugby sevens as well. Emil Smith Rowe is eligible for Jamaica. One of his grandparents is Jamaican. Yeah, but the thing is, though, Darth, Emil played for England in a competitive game, which would make him no longer able to represent Jamaica. So if he had played like in a friendly like Mason Greenwood, because Mason Greenwood is eligible to represent Jamaica because he only played one game for England. So Mason Greenwood still remains eligible for Jamaica. But Emil Smith Rowe, tough. Okay, that would still be better than the boring and outdated 4-4-2. Understood. Yeah, I would agree with you there. A 4-2-3-1, one of the central midfielders can play as a number 8 or deep lying playmaker. Deep line playmaker, yeah. When you were doing your West Midlands accent, you sound like Lenny Henry. Really? Lenny Henry? I thought it sounded a bit like Jack Grealish. Because Jack Grealish talks around there like. But I know Lenny Henry comes all the way from Dudley. Isn't Dudley in Wolverhampton? I'm sure Dudley's located in Wolverhampton and Birmingham. And we have to do all this sizing. Saw some highlights of the new coaching team and our goalkeepers today. Good and intense. Yep, progressive. Don't know if you touched on this before. What do you make of the Ivan Tona betting story? If it is true, then it's a shame. A real, real shame. And it's something that could impact his chances of going to the World Cup. And if he doesn't go to the World Cup, that means that he doesn't have a cap. And I think it might be a situation where, just like Mikel Antonio may not get another cap for call up for England. And eventually, here comes Jamaica, who comes calling. Zimbabwe could have beat Bangladesh in the T20 World Cup, but they choked. But Zimbabwe defeated Pakistan, and that was a really, really good game. Do you remember that? Zimbabwe defeating Pakistan. Yeah, that was a good game, and they won by 1 run. DS Electronic Limited, big up in the chat. I think he'll play with more rhythm and keep sharp if Leon play as a 10. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that playing centrally will be an important focal point moving forward, if that is something that Unai Emery sees best fit. But I personally think that moving forward, it's something that we should be looking forward to. Isn't Anthony Robinson of the USA a Jamaican? Well, he has Jamaican heritage, if that's what you mean. So yeah, he does. So yeah, from that aspect, it's its grandparents, paternal, paternal, paternal grandparents. Simon, what's the deal with Shantamoy Taylor? They're adjusting to life in Brazil. Shantamoy had this injury, this knee situation, and he's recovering from it. And we hopefully should be able to see Shantamoy quite soon. Cavaliers sign a player from Surinamese league. Dudley's in the Black Country, which includes Wolverhampton and Walsall. It's north of Birmingham. Yeah, I know, because basically in the not the region, the West Midlands, but in the actual county, in the county, the West Midlands county itself, it's broken up into 5 or 7 districts, you could say. So you have Wolverhampton, you have Dudley, you have Walsall, you have Sandwell, you have Birmingham, which is the biggest of them all, you have Solihull, and you have Coventry. So yeah. Suriname is building a good team. Yep, they're coming. Yeah, he was holding a St. Vincent and the Grenadines flag when Burnville got promoted to the English Premier League, so he has a Vincentian heritage as well. West Indies side shaky. Why? Cayman Islands has some good football fields. Yeah, when you go to Little Cayman and Cayman Brac, they have some fantastic facilities. That FIFA money went to work. That FIFA money went to work on those facilities. Trust me. That money went to work over time. Not seeing Levi Caldwell in the Brighton team. Is he injured? Yeah, Levi is recovering. No, he also had an illness quite recently as well. Good player. 19, 6'2". Played for England's under 16s, 17s, 19s, 21s. Born in Southampton. Chelsea player. Was at Huddersfield Town last season in the Championship. Now at Brighton. Suriname have a striker at Berlin. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Quite a bit. How's the team getting on in Cameroon? Well, they had their first training session yesterday, and it's about fine tuning things for the game. And it's something that they're working on and progressing quite naturally. And it's coming together, you could say. It's coming together. So hopefully all the pieces are put together by Tuesday. So by the time the team takes the field, it'll be all systems go for the game. So that's what we can say where that is concerned. So, Reggae Boys fans, like I said, you'll be able to get an update on Andre Blake a little bit later. For now, thank you very much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. But in another 2 hours or so, you'll be able to see a video as it relates to Andre Blake. And if you guys haven't already, do check out the interviews I've done with Darren Moore, with Ricardo Bibi Gardner, with Ricardo Fuller. Also, the interviews that were done with Anthony Stewart, with Kieran Aggard, also the ones done with Cuba Mitchell and Cameron Eubank and Alika Keane. Do check those out. No, yes, I do work in football. I thought you said if I worked in England, but I got my qualifications from the Scottish FA, scouting, analysis, So, yeah. I was actually in the UK quite recently, to catch up with, the players of Jamaican heritage. You have Dishon Bernard, Manchester United, Ethan Laird, a former Manchester United player, and Damani Mello, Dimitri Mitchell are persons that have declared their allegiance to represent Jamaica. So, yeah, good players. So, it's a good look. I also was invited by Sheffield Wednesday to observe their training session to improve on my scouting ability, work, research. And I was also invited by Celtic Football Club recently for the Champions League. So I would say I've had a fair bit of experience within football, and it's just been a wonderful journey, one day at a time. But yeah, I must say things have been going quite nicely. So I'm grateful for it. Well, they're making good revenue. That's what I can say in terms of C Sports. They're making good revenue locally. Really, really good revenue. Simon, does the Amir Richardson that plays in the French League Two of Jamaican heritage? Amir Richardson. It's the French footballer Amir, right? French Amir Richardson, because I know his father is Michael Ray Richardson. I know his father is Michael, but his father is American. And in terms of his granddad is Billy Jack Richardson. No, Billy Jack Richardson, to the best of my memory as well, is an American. So Amir, to the best of my knowledge, is American on his father's side and Moroccan French on his mother. So no, Amir Richardson would not qualify for Jamaica. Joined late. What's the deal with Blake? I'll be uploading a video in another 2 hours or so in relation to Andre Blake and his situation. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit that like button and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.